What's going on, everybody? So, I have done a reaction to the Fast and the Furious 10 trailer, and also the Flash. Yeah, the Flash. And this video, even in itself, I think I'm recording this because there's a little bit of audio situation, so I think I've cleared that one up. But if you haven't seen, I'm just doing this just to let you know. If you haven't seen the Flash trailer, or my reaction to the Flash trailer, or the Fast and the Furious 10, it's because of copyrights. So without further ado, without all that nonsense out the way, let's do this reaction to some gameplay walkthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake. I know it's a little bit old, but hey, I've been wanting to do some of this, so why not kick off Season 3 with some Resident Evil 4 Remake gameplay? And then I think I'm going to be doing some reactions to Indiana Jones. Still, I did the Indiana Jones and Transformers and other stuff like that, but for now, let's get into it. Game Informer, huh?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Game Informer. I'm your host, Alex Van Aken, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of this exclusive gameplay footage that we have from Resident Evil 4 Remake, Chapter 5. We're going to be seeing some church gameplay, some Ashley gameplay, and some of the cabin fight, as well as, just overall fighting Ganado and trying to stay alive. So we've got about 12 minutes of footage here to show you today. And I'm joined by Marcus Stewart. How are you, Marcus?
I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be seeing this section again because, as I mentioned in the cover story I wrote, I had a lot of fun playing it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we are. This footage starts out, and we are, simply escaping from the church. This is how many hours into the game would you say this is, Marcus?
Oh, yeah, it's hard to say because we don't know how long the other chapters are. It's got to be at least probably like 3-ish hours, I would guess.
The future of our species is at great risk. Master Chief and the others.
Yeah.
This is not our gameplay, by the way. If people are wondering, this is a B-roll that Capcom provided, so this is someone on the team playing, not us.
Yes, we did play through this section, everything that you see today. And an important disclaimer, Capcom did help out with accommodations for travel. That means like flights, hotel, in association with this cover trip. We didn't have any of those conversations. Like, that's our bosses that handle all that. We kind of just show up and do our job. But it is an important disclaimer. That being said, we are not influenced by that.
Roost, secure Baby Eagle.
Copy that. Is she okay?
Affirmative.
Well done, Condor 1. I'll dispatch a chopper ASAP. I'm sending you the coordinates for the extraction point. Make your way there, and don't let anything happen to Baby Eagle.
Copy that.
Hurry. The weather is getting worse. Bruce out.
So you see the Hunnigan conversations are in game now, which is nice.
I wonder if that one puzzle is still back there.
Yeah, I shot the map there, going to the helicopter extraction point where nothing will go wrong, I'm sure. So yeah, in the beginning you saw Leon and Ashley sort of just talking about like, hey, we need to get out of here. Fun fact, without spoiling, there's a little extra area in that upper deck that you can find if you don't want to just beeline it straight for that ladder. So keep an eye out up there. I found it on my playthrough. So yeah, we are making our way through here. Leon being a gentleman, moving that out the way because he's all big and strong.
Oh my god. I like that you can step kill them now. It's kind of cool. Like, it adds another layer to it.
I tried to get through it stealthily the first couple times.
okay?
So you're gonna notice there's gonna be a few jumps in the clips here. Again, that's a Capcom thing, so this isn't going to be a straight
Oh
run
my
through
God.
of the chapter. It's gonna jump around at points, but as you can see, the flash grenade still very effective against those tentacle transformed Ganado. As we enter the cemetery, you get a little bit of a taste of one of the side quests, which is sort of a spin on the cemetery puzzle. As you can see, you can still shoot birds' nests to get those precious eggs.
He said it was like a spin on the cemetery
that's
puzzle.
a bird nest.
So I wonder if that means they took that puzzle. That means that whole puzzle is just gone now.
You know how it is. But I mean, in the original game, you killed snakes and you got chicken eggs, which was always kind of weird. There he is.
If I remember correctly, that puzzle was just to get a jewel that could fit into another valuable to make it more valuable. And there was like a mask or something.
One has to wonder how he moves with all that heavy equipment in that coat. You know, must be pretty strong. It's kind of like a Dragon Ball, like Piccolo weighted training gear. He's probably pretty strong. But,
I was thinking he's just like into CrossFit. You know?
You know, we don't know. He's a mysterious.
Wow, they got a lot of money.
He's either upgrading our equipment here. You can upgrade knives now. It's mentioned in the cover story, which is nice. Which you're gonna be needing because they have limited durability, and you're gonna be using it quite a bit for the new parry mechanic, which I enjoy.
See, that gun.
Right there, you're gonna want to.
I remember from the original was like once like fully upgraded, everything was like one of the most powerful guns in the game.
That was one of the more involved quests that we saw so
Absolutely.
far.
Other than like the hand cannon and stuff like that, that was the most powerful gun in the game. And I mean just handgun, not like Magnum and stuff like that, but just regular handgun.
We are going to show the dog, but the way to find the dog will be, I guess, a little bit of a mystery. And also important to note, we turned left when we left that door. There is another path behind us if we were to turn right out of that door that goes into an underground tunnel that like takes you up through a well in the village. So there's a lot of paths available.
Yeah, like when we both came through here, we just assumed just the way the camera's framed. We're like, okay, it's the only way to go. But yeah, one of the producers pulled us aside and was like, hey, check this out. And we were like, oh, okay.
You just need the hell out of
Here we
it.
go. We've got the village at night. The lady thought she could take a pitchfork to Leon. Didn't work out for her. And this is
I was gonna just comment on the rain. I know that there's a lot of talk about
Raingate.
Raingate. I do agree. I think it can be tuned down a little bit. It does feel like intentionally, like it is intentionally obfuscating the environment. It kind of adds to that tension. Like you can't see what you're shooting. I do agree, though. It's a bit much. And you know, it would be great, Marcus, if there's like a rain slider. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I just want a nice little downpour. As you see, I love the lighting in this game. You know, like it just the bloom on the flashlight and just how dark everything is. Like it just makes especially like interiors like this. As you lift Ashley up to do her thing, get Leon up there. Yeah, it just makes the interiors creepier. Like that, like the first time that owl made me jump because you just see the glowing eyes in the dark.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, like what is that?
I will say there were a couple times when I was playing the demo where I was kind of in a very dark environment and Leon wasn't pulling up his flashlight, which is kind of frustrating. So I'm just kind of like clambering around in the dark. It was mostly like outdoor. Oh,
there he is,
the dog.
Look at that thing. It's got like weird. It looks like a.
That better not be the dog that you could rescue at the beginning of the game.
So yeah,
that'd be kind of messed
also
up.
Pointed out for those wondering that this dog is not the dog that Leon can rescue in the original game, because in this game he's presumably dead.
What?
So at the time we kind of were like, oh, maybe this is the dog, but they were very clear to point out, like, nope, different dog. And you're like, okay. But yeah, that dog fight is pretty hard.
They also wouldn't definitively answer if it was the same dog in this game as in the old game. In terms of the one that's dead at the beginning of the game, they're like, maybe it's not the same dog, and it's like, okay.
That better not be true. That was a cool little side thing.
Yeah.
Like,
see, it's 1 of 5.
to have in the game,
so I
like,
asked
in
Capcom about that because in the original game it was kind of like 15 in the same area, and they said
so
that,
this must be the
that
cabinet
side quest
fight.
reappears in different parts of the map. So you're going to be shooting. It sounds like you're going to be shooting medallions outside of just like the village area, and they just sort of like divided them into like batches of 5.
Therapy for me, I think when the
Hey, I see you found your missing senorita.
Senorita has a name, Miss Ashley. You are?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Very good questions, unfortunately. Hi.
It's game time. No, in the original, I don't think you could get. Lewis, that was the gun that Lewis used, but I don't think you could get it until after this part. Like once this part is over, I don't think that's when it becomes available in the merchant.
Footage. It's where,
because I don't remember having that gun before this part in the original game.
Right.
In that area just before the bridge that we crossed. But,
yeah, because in the footage we've put out of this, people have seen the cow guy shows up in this fight,
here.
But you actually fight him well before this. So
yeah, so when he shows up in the fight, he's definitely a recurring enemy. But when he shows up in the fight, you've already had to fight him before, and so I feel like it's extra tense because it's like, oh my god, I got to fight this guy now.
Yes,
so.
I saw some people speculating that he might be a single persistent enemy that follows you. I'm pretty sure that is not the case. Yeah, I think he's just another enemy type.
I have killed him several times in different areas.
Yeah.
Just a new enemy type.
So this fight was pretty wild, as it is in the original, but even more so here. And there he is, Mr. Bullman. There's been a lot of like back and forth, like, is he a cow, is he a bull? But I was like, he's got a horn there. Might be a bull thing.
Well, a bull is just a cow. It's a male cow.
I mean, yeah, they're the same thing. But, you know, I mean,
Who's just over there and shaking?
Okay. That's fair, that's fair. Listen.
Whoa! He wrecking it.
Pummeled.
He was wrecking them.
And yeah, that's the end of the action gameplay we've got to show off. This is a look at putting gems inside of treasures to increase their value. Of course, if you different combinations of gems net you different bonuses. There are now customized cases that have different bonuses. So, like the black case has an increased drop rate for L resources. And you can pick up charms as well, a little chicken charm. The charms and the cases, they give you.
I remember they said something about this, like it's gonna have like charms.
And you can do that stuff,
and that different cases gonna do different
things. You can't do that all the time, just when you reach those safe spots.
I'm glad they left the grid system in here though, so it can feel like the old coverage.
Bookmark GameInformer.com/Resident Evil 4 and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
That actually, this whole thing, this whole little Game Informer, because it reminds me of like the original Resident Evil 4 case from when it was on GameCube. Cause it was like that. It had the Granados. You see the chainsaw. You saw the Chainsaw Man, the Granados. You saw the Chief Mendez going like this to you and stuff like that. But I don't think Leon had like the shotgun. I think he just had his regular gun in his hand. But man, I tell you, I didn't think it. You know, I remember when I first. Two things I want to say before I end this video. I remember when I first heard about this game and that it wasn't gonna be zombies, because I remember that was the first thing, that the enemy type is no longer zombies, but they're like basically infected people. And I'm like, what? What did that mean? Like, so we're not gonna get the usual, zombie walking slow motion creepy somewhere in the room moaning stuff like that. No, we're gonna get these fast moving people who are just controlled by a parasite. And I remember before playing this game, I'm like, that's not gonna be fun. But then playing it, I'm like, holy crap, this is actually a lot creepy, and it was fun. It was both creepy and fun. I hate. Another thing I want to point out, I did say too, but I just thought about it. That graveyard scene when they said like the whole what he was doing, like it's like a new spin on the graveyard puzzle, and I'm like I love the graveyard puzzle, and it was annoying, but I loved it because it had a jewel, I think, for one of like the mask or items you could get. But it was a cool thing because it was like it was like an area on the other side of the church where you could go and you just had to turn the knob to match the symbols from the people in the graveyard. And I was hoping they kept that in there, but he said this was a spin on the graveyard puzzle, so I figured it's probably not going to be in there. Now, last but not least, I just remember watching that whole scene where they was fighting in the house. It was just funny. I thought about it because I had flashbacks to how many times I failed that mission. Like, and I would tell you, I failed that raid slash. I don't know what you would like to call it. You could call it like a raid slash survive until the certain time like limit thing, whatever you want to call it. I say it's like a survive. I call it like I always used to call it like the survival raid portion where you just gotta outlast to a certain time, and it was like quite annoying because you didn't know how long you had to last. You just had to keep. The only thing you had to go with, which is leading me to why I mentioned this, was Lewis. And I remember the first couple of times I failed was because when you in the original, when you start out at the bottom, I didn't know that you're queued to the next little portion of that was when Lewis says, "Come on, Leon, we gotta go upstairs," or he tells you to go upstairs. Cause that's where. Cause I was always wondering too, like, where did Ashley hide at? And I didn't know she ran upstairs and hid in this closet. But it was like, oh man, what was this? I kept failing. I'm like, what is I'm doing wrong? I'm sitting there shooting at people, but why is I'm getting surrounded? Where's Lewis? And then I finally, like, after I think literally like 5 or 6 times, maybe 7. It was up there too. It wasn't 10, but it wasn't far off from 10. And I finally realized you're supposed to go upstairs, because I think that final time I realized that I'm shooting, then I finally heard it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Then I finally heard Lewis say, "Come on, Leon, we gotta go upstairs." I'm like, oh, so that's what I was missing the whole time. I didn't even know we were supposed to go upstairs. I was wondering why Lewis wasn't helping me no more, and why I was getting surrounded by all the people. And then, like, once you get upstairs, then that portion gets easier again, because you're not overwhelmed because Lewis is still helping you. But I didn't realize that, and I kept dying horribly. But that doesn't mean I didn't die once I got upstairs. I died a couple of times then too. Like, I think, unlike the bottom portion, though, I only died like maybe 3 or 4 times before I finally completed that portion. But the ironic thing is, that was the only time that happened. Every other time I played Resident Evil 4, the original, I think I never died at that portion ever again. Obviously, because I knew what to do, but It was just that even on the hard difficulty, I didn't die. Well, I'll take that back. I might have, when I played on the hard difficulties, I might have died like once or twice, but never more than that. And it was just a fun little watching that. It was just a fun little memory. I just had like how frustrated I was, and I mean I was super frustrated, like super angry. Like I couldn't figure out for the life of me what I was doing wrong until I realized, oh, you just gotta wait for Lewis Q to go upstairs, and then we all just holding them off from the windows, and then upstairs. And I like that. Even though they give you that same section, they add a new wrinkle to it. Now you got this enemy type, because in the original, I don't remember like even Dr. Salvator or the Chainsaw Man. I don't even remember him showing up in the raid portion. He might have did. I can't remember if he did or not. I'm pretty certain he did. I'm about like 70-30. No, 70. Yeah. No. I won't even say that because I don't even know if he did show up. You know what? I take that back. Yeah, I'm about 70-30% sure that that the Chainsaw Man showed up, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it is to see that they add like a whole new character that you fight multiple times, and it's not, I've been out of the loop, so I haven't been doing my reaction. So this is the first time I've seen that they got like this bull dude that got a hammer. So now we got a Chainsaw Man and a dude that wields a freaking hammer. You know what I hope to end this? I hope that they add like the giant chainsaw dude into the main story, cause that would be so freaking awesome. Like, it scared the living hell out of me. Now I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I did the mercenaries mode where you have to face the giant chainsaw man, I was just like, and it's like a double wielded chainsaw, and he's just fast and all that. I was just like, what? When I first seen him, it scared the living hell out of me because he was just so big and he was so powerful, and he took massive shots. And just for him to be, even if he just make it was just one appearance in the story mode, it would be cool. Because it's like it adds another layer to the lore. Because if you guys who played the original, you know that the parasite mutates you in ways that it doesn't do, like it's just like the T virus. They still kept, that's how they reference like the older games with this new one, was that the parasite does similar things like the T virus. It can mutate you in different ways depending on the person. Like the Dr. Salvator, it mutated him into a stronger Granado. So Granado, and even the women Granado that was the chainsaw, it mutated them. It did Sattler and all the other characters. It mutated them into certain ways. Man, I talk too much. I ramble. Sorry. I was just seeing this made me think. But anyway, if you enjoy this reaction and my little ramble about memory lane of the original Resident Evil 4, then you hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my, Season 2. Since this is the first reaction you probably receive for Season 3, my Season 2 reactions. But if you enjoy the video so much and want to support the channel, you know what to do. Hit those buttons and hit any one of these videos that's going to pop on your screen in my end one for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere because I got more reactions coming your way plus gameplay. So, peace.